In this video, I am going to demonstrate a few more techniques we can use for registration. Before we go to the fully manual registration case, I am going to show you a quick technique that will work if your registration is failing to converge. Typically, the reason that Find registration fails is because the course registration is not close enough. So if this is the case, the first thing you can try is to select the Snap Individual Layers Iteratively option. This will progressively build the model starting with the reference layer. What you are seeing here is each layer being snapped to the previous layers. The order of the layers being snapped follows what's shown in the table of contents on the left. So if the scan layers do not have an ordered listing, you may want to reorder the layers by selecting the Reorder button in the Scans button up top. When the iterative snap is completed, you always need to run a non-iterative snap in order to balance the errors. If the model is still fairly off, you may need to run it several times to get it to converge. If all else fails, you can do manual registration by registering one layer to another, one at a time. This process is the most time-consuming, but also the most robust, because it ensures you have sufficient fiducials between layers before moving on. At first, I will only register the horizontal translation and rotations. I use only vertical features and avoid using the berm because I know that the vertical translation of the layers has not yet been adjusted. As I progress through the layers, I want to keep adding fiducials where there is overlap between the layers. Remember, if I define an area using the polygon, rectangle, or circle tools, uniTank will look for suitable fiducials within the defined area. uniTank has predefined thresholds for data noise, density, and flatness, so in far away areas, it may not find any suitable fiducials. If this is the case, you can still use those areas for fiducials. As I have been doing before, you can use the point tool to identify individual fiducial locations. When I am making surface fiducials, I place a point on the desired surface. When I am making column fiducials, I place a point at the center of the column. When looking for fiducials, you may need to toggle between the different elevations. Remember, any vertical surface, such as pipe walls, cars, containers, buildings, can be used for fiducials. As long as it's flat and seen in multiple scans, it can be used. Remember that the berm location changes with elevation, so it is not always a good indicator of horizontal position. If you have many layers in your dataset, Snap may start taking more and more time as the number of layers increase. You may want to only snap the current layer to the previous 2 or 3 layers, since typically you only have overlap between 3 to 4 layers. Once I am happy with the horizontal translation, I need to fix the vertical translation. To start off, I will do a coarse elevate to ensure all the layers are roughly at the correct elevation. Now that all the scans are roughly aligned vertically, I can use the berm to place horizontal fiducials if I need to. Like with the iterative registration case, I always need to run a snap with all but the reference layer afterwards to ensure that the errors get balanced. Next, I create vertical fiducials on the floor. If I don't have sufficient overlapping surfaces on the floor, I can see if I can use the wind girder up top to place vertical fiducials. When the model has converged, you may want to run check fiducials to see what the error of the fiducials are. If you see some fiducials with high error, you may want to delete them and rerun snap to see if you can improve the registration.